Here we go again.
Good morning, good evening, y'all. Hey, y'all put one in the comment section if y'all can hear me, because it's about to get real crazy, y'all. I need for y'all to hit that like button. I got a jewel for y'all tonight. Listen, look at me, y'all. I'm not even ready to do this live. I was just working out, getting my swole on. I was just working out, getting my swole on, y'all. I was, get my ones and twos on. Somebody sent me a video. There's a big YouTuber by the name of Blood on the Wire, y'all. And I need for y'all to really look at this video. It's crazy. Is y'all ready? Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody, to the comment section. But here, I need for y'all to check this out right now. I'm telling y'all, this is a crazy video. This probably one of the worst videos I ever seen. Worse than any video I done came out with. Here you go.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Tonight, we're going to talk about some of the things that people might have seen in the news. We talk about the Alabama prison system, how atrocious it is, how violent it is, how nasty it is. Some other folks have done videos. We've seen some stuff on CNN, some stuff on Fox News about a young man named Daniel. He ends up getting pretty much crucified in the Alabama state prison system. But we have his legal team on today, Nathaniel Hooper. We also have his parents on here. So we're going to talk about that. But first, I'd like to talk to his parents. Tell the people your names and talk a little bit about you and your life.
Yeah. I'm Terry Williams. I love cutting grass, but I'm a plumber now.
Hey, listen, y'all, this story is the story of nightmares of what, when y'all be talking about old Donta be capping, when he be talking about these booty bandit stories. Okay, I want y'all to watch this. Please pay attention.
Well,
I'm actually a stepmom. I'm Taylor. Yep.
So, we're going to talk about, what happened with your son. He's in Alabama. Tell the people why he goes to jail. Why is he in jail?
he had an assault charge. Somebody was threatening his girlfriend, and they got in an altercation about it. And then
A theft charge.
He had a theft charge. And they gave him 10-split-1. And he was serving most of the time in Jefferson County. He had about 3 or 4 months left, and then they sent him to Kilby, sent him to a rehabilitation program, and then sent him to Staten.
2 weeks before this happened. He'd only been there 2 weeks.
He had only been at the prison 2 weeks before what happens, right?
Right. And then he had 2 weeks left once it happened. When he went to Staten, he only had a month left, and he'd be out free.
So he gets 1 year, and they send him to this. Pretty much, he's got to do 1 year, right?
I think he had to do 6 months altogether. That's how long he actually had to sit.
He had a good time at Jefferson County.
So with a 6-month sentence, they put him in this prison that's pretty well known for violence, pretty much the staff are afraid, the staff that do show up. And do they put him in a cell with this guy that they call him ATL, right? He ends up in a cell with this guy?
Well, it's an open dorm.
Yeah, I think he was actually in the dorm next to him, but somehow he came in there and got Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel was in C dorm and ATL was in E dorm.
And kind of tell the people what happens. You know, I mean, he comes and gets him, you said. What do you
Yeah.
mean by he comes and gets him?
3 guys came and got him unwillingly, you know, and tied him up and carried him over to E dorm on a Thursday. And the next Wednesday is when we found out that, you know, he's no longer with us. The warden called and told us that it was an overdose case.
And this is from sources on the inside that have told us this.
Basically, their loved one, his son, was in there for assault. He only had 2 weeks to go before he got released. And these cats hog tied him, took him to another dorm, and brutally, how can I say this? They inserted themselves inside of this man continuously. But hold on, here's the big kicker of this whole thing. The dude, ATL, who they about to show, I know this dude. Y'all remember when I told y'all when I was in Covington, Georgia, when I lived there, I knew who ATL was. So I know this dude, and this dude was a freaky dude. He will always, like every party we would go to, he always was aggressive with the women, y'all. So I can believe it. I know the dude ATL. Y'all going to see. Well, we're going to keep it going. There's no, I know this guy, so it's not hard to not believe.
So they say it's an overdose case, but we know now from a lot of, you know, research and talking to people that it really wasn't an overdose, right?
Not even close.
You know, I hate to
You
use
can look at him and tell that clearly this wasn't no overdose.
This is ATL, y'all. I know this dude, but he had dreads when I know him. Hold up, let me blow up his face. Let me blow it up, y'all. This is him. This is the guy. This the guy right here. This the guy, y'all, right here. I know him. I know this guy, but he had dreads in Covington, Georgia. He was a real freaky dude. Look at his charges. Let me look at his charges. His charges are assault and sodomy. So he went to jail for beating up somebody and raping. Violating somebody, and he's steady violating up in there.
Case.
Let's talk about this. Was he sexually assaulted?
Yes.
And the man that sexually assaults him, he's living in an open dorm. He's in prison for sexual assault and some violent things, right?
Right.
Not his first time, you know, actually, you know, sexually assaulting other men in prison, right?
Right. He got in trouble in another prison in a level 5. And when he got in trouble there, they moved him down to a level 4 facility.
And he just got a new charge in May of this year.
A new charge in May of this year. We can talk a little bit about that. I don't think we can, you know, talk about the victim's name, but we'll refer to that. So he had already raped.
When I was 19 years old, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I done told y'all. Do y'all remember when I told y'all about Tar T, my homeboy Tar T? This is cousin. This is his cousin right here. Y'all remember how I told y'all when me and Tar T was locked up and how he folded on me with the Crips? Yeah, y'all remember that? And when we was out in California, oh, did I tell y'all that story yet about what happened to us when we went to California? Oh yeah. This is his, hey, here you go.
Someone else at the prison, right?
Yeah.
And he's allowed to, you know, rape people and then just be out free, walking around again.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't
Obviously,
understand
they allow it.
As his parents, as his stepmother, as his father, you know, when you find out what happened to your son and you find out the history, what goes through your mind? What's the first thing you're thinking?
Anger.
Yeah. I wanted to get in trouble to go in there and take care of business, really. You know?
Talk about take care of business. You know, it's a dangerous place, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't realize how bad it was until we started doing some research after this.
You know, I've seen some videos that are pretty brutal of, dudes getting beat. I posted some of them. In a lot of instances, not on no racial shit, but it's a lot of white dudes getting punched in the face, kicked, punched, not fighting back. I posted it. I posted another video where they did it to another, young black dude where they were over there beating him up. I mean, it's just a crazy system that's totally out of control, right?
Absolutely.
So what is it? What do you find out? What happens?
I'm gonna be real. When I was locked up in Columbus, Ohio, and Jackson Pike, the most I've seen, a lot of people be like, yo, how do you have all these crazy prison stories? Me and my wife just was talking about this, I promise to God, like 20 minutes ago. We were just talking about a situation when I was locked up. And she was asking me a question. And she was like, all this happened on my first day in the pod. In my first day in Jackson Pike, it was like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Me, because I got into it with somebody. It was 6 fights. It was this Muslim cat. Y'all remember when I told y'all about the Muslim dude that every time he'd pray, these gang members would throw their cover on him and beat him up and take his tray? In one day, all this happened in one day, y'all. So I'm telling y'all, anybody, listen, y'all can say that I'm lying. Y'all can say that what is all cap. If there's anybody in here from Columbus, Ohio, or if you was in Franklin County and committed a crime and they didn't send you to the downtown county, they sent you to the workhouse of Jackson Pike, please let these people know that I'm not lying. Let these people know that.
Daniel, what do you guys find out? What are the details that you guys know?
They tied him up, shot him up, sexually assaulted him, beat him. I mean, and all this went on for a matter of 5, 6 days, And
They said
from
that
what a
they
couple inmates told me, the COs sit there and watch all this.
will turn their head.
Watch all this and turn their head. A guy by the name of Bernard Jamison, he does a lot of these videos. He's been in prison for like 25, 30 years. He pretty much tries to help people out. He tries to help out black prisoners. He tries to help out white prisoners. And he actually had sent me a message. And in his message, let me see if I can find it while we're on here. He says something about that the cops turn a blind eye, right? He said there's like rampant racism in there, and the black cops are pretty much like, let me see. He says, be sure to let it be known that there's high levels of racial violence in this system. Black officers stand by and watch. The public must know this. This is a message from a guy who obviously has a phone in prison. He's been busted with phones before. But you know what? He's getting the story out there. He's the guy that's the push behind, the videos that are coming out and, some of the gruesome things that you see in here. And, it's shocking. But the most shocking part, and we're going to talk to Nate here in a minute, is ATL went to the shoe or to the hole, right? For this incident with your son.
Yeah. And it was a couple.
Hey, y'all, when I get off this live, I'm going to call my cousins that's in Atlanta, Georgia right now, because they don't even know. One of my brothers asked me the other day, it was like, what tall T and ATL them at in homicide? Wait, y'all think I'm lying? Watch this. I'm going to play the video, but I'm finna go get my wife, and she ain't even tell y'all. I'm going to play the video. I'll be right back.
As a matter of fact, the day that Daniel actually passed, he was out walking around in state in prison.
So, your son's kind of on life support or whatever, and then he dies. And the same day that he dies, ATL's back on the compound walking around like nothing happened.
Yep.
Doing it to
Smiling.
another
Yeah,
inmate.
looking for another boy.
Looking for another boy. Did your son ever call you and say, hey, I'm scared, it's dangerous here?
No, not a bit. We talked to him a couple nights before all this, happened, and he was fine. He was ready to come home and everything. Yeah, we was thinking we'd see him in a couple weeks, but then this happened right here, and
They sent me a picture. I believe it was the Wednesday before all this started, and it was just a picture of him. He got, I guess, a hold of a phone, but he looked fine. I mean, he looked like Daniel.
He's got 2 small children, right?
yes,
Now those two small children
Hey,
without a
hey,
father.
y'all, hold up, y'all. Bae.
Yeah.
Hey, can y'all hear my wife? Can y'all hear her, bae?
Yes, honey.
What was the 3 guys that I always was talking about that I was running with in Atlanta?
Tarty, homicide, ATL. Yeah, ATL.
ATL. The black dude that I was just showing you on here, that's him. He had dreads when I knew
That's
him.
the dude that you always told stories about when you was in Atlanta?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh.
And dude is in Alabama, and he just took, he did something. This what this whole story is about.
You said he was crazy.
Yeah, he was. All right, thank you, babe. Yeah, hey, listen, I'm telling. Listen. When I get off this live, I'm going to call my cousins, y'all, and when I go live again, I'm gonna have them tell y'all some stories about this dude.
Let me ask Nate a couple questions.
Sure.
Nate, I mean, your input. You want to kind of give us the rundown because you know the facts. I mean, I know the facts too, but I'd like to hear them from you.
Yeah, so I guess kind of the way I was introduced to this case, right, was through another activist in the system. You and I have done work for her son, Cindy Hamilton. And she calls me up one day or texts me actually and says, "Hey, I've got somebody for you. There's kind of an atrocity happening at Staten right now." And I said, "Of course, send her over." I mean, absolutely. So kind of I get a call from Taylor, and I think it was that date, October the 25th. And whenever we spoke, you said, I don't know where my son is. They won't tell me. They said something happened. They said it was an overdose. They said he's at some hospital. They won't tell us which one. Kind of, you were telling me there was absolutely no information that was being shared with you. And I said, let's get Chad and I on the phone. Let's get our colleague and friend and member of the legal team, Andrew, the lead attorney on this case, Andrew Menifee on the line. So we do that. We talk about it. And then by the next day, we had a letter sent out that said, "Hey, warden of State and Correctional, you are going to have to let the family visit." So we got Taylor, Terry, Daniel's mother, Tammy, and his girlfriend at the time, Amber, visitation rights. And we were even able to get a bond for Tammy's mother. She didn't have one. So she got out on ankle monitor release. We got them over there to visit, and the situation really deteriorated from there. What happened from there? They started putting more and more armed security out there, trying to access or limit access to the family of seeing Daniel's body. They tried to prevent taking pictures. They denied us a second autopsy after his death. Really kind of ADOC, the Alabama Department of Corrections, and the staff there, the medical staff, in a very...
No. I didn't see that. If you got a link, put the link in the comment section or just give me the title of it and I'm gonna check it out.
Typical fashion, are very much trying to delay any and all justice. So we're very excited to bring a wrongful death claim against them. And also additionally, I want to mention that it was just about 3 days ago, Andrew and I kind of collaborated on getting this other individual that was at risk. So on May 15th, 2023, he was sent from St. Clair Correctional, which is this level 5, very high level, down to...
He talked about ATL, what led up to him taking this dude's life and taking his butt.
Which is known for violence now, but I really think that's mostly because of ATL and his associates, right? Because at the time it was known for being a medium out kind of facility where people get ready for the world.
Is this my god sister,
at the same time, there's absolutely no reason that Daniel should have been at Staten in the first place. I mean, he shouldn't have been at a prison at all whenever he was convicted.
Let me ask you briefly before I get back to Taylor.
Sure.
The warden here tried to cover this thing up, right?
Of course.
They want the family to believe, oh, it was an overdose. They don't want them to see the damage to the body. I mean, what was the damage like on his body?
Oh, it was absolutely harrowing. I mean, They said that basically his skin was black in many places, just black from bruising. The inner parts of his thighs where basically the flesh was so completely black and blue, or I guess it was black and blue at one point, but it was such a fresh bruise that it indicated that somebody pried his legs open. They were abrasions that where people use needles, and Andrew luckily got to visit them at the hospital and kind of I do believe they got some pictures, but they tried to keep them from doing that as well. But trying to preserve that evidence, and luckily Andrew got to see him, so he can also attest to what's going on from a personal perspective whenever we get a little further down the line.
Taylor,
Yes.
when you guys get this call, right? What's it like when you guys get this call and it's like, hey, pretty much, your stepson and your son, he's dead. What's the first thing you think in your
We
mind?
actually didn't even get a phone call from the warden to begin with. The warden called Daniel's girlfriend, Amber, and Amber called me, and had somebody else call Terry. But as soon as I got the phone call, I hung up from her and I called the warden myself. And I waited till Terry was here with me. That way he could talk to him too. And I asked him what was going on with my stepson, where he was at, and what was going on. And he said, well, we found him unresponsive on Sunday in his dorm, and we took him to the infirmary, and we decided then to transfer him to a free ward hospital. He's on life support, and it's not looking like he's going to make it. That's usually the only time we call the parents. And I was like, no, wait a minute. You found him Sunday. Why are we just now finding out about it here it is Wednesday? And he said, well, we don't usually call the family until, we think that they're going to pass. And I was like, okay. And I said, well, what happened? How did this happen? And he said, it's obviously a drug overdose. And I was like, okay. We kind of, we were shocked, but we went along with it until we saw him. And it was a completely different story.
Hold on, y'all. We got to go to a commercial break. 1 second, y'all. 1 second.
When you walk in there and you see your son in the hospital, do you know, like, this is it? He's probably going to not make it?
Yeah. I'm just looking at him. My heart hit the ground.
I can't even imagine what that's like. I got 2 little boys, man. I love them to death. 2 little twin boys, and I know it's got to be difficult for you. You know what I mean? It has to be difficult. Anger, rage, disappointment, sadness. I can only imagine what's going through your mind. Was your son a fighter? Do you think he fought back? Do you think he tried to?
Absolutely.
I think that's why he was beat so bad, because like he fought to his death. And also I had another inmate tell me the same thing, like he didn't go out without a fight. He
Got some other
wasn't doing any of this.
some other inmates reach out to you and say, hey man, on cell phones, or hey, your son was fighting for his life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy Daniel was bunking with, he called me and was telling me about it.
And I've actually got a friend that's actually in state.
Is that kid that was his bunkie or whatever, is he still at that prison?
Yes. He's
Taking
got,
the danger?
he's got 99 years, I think he said.
99 years, he better fight back.
Yeah.
When have you seen some of the videos, some of the things that are going on in Alabama?
Yeah.
Sadly, yeah, we have.
How do your son gets murdered there, pretty much? What do you think when you see these videos? I mean, what's going through are you shocked that this is even happening in a prison system?
Yeah, because I had a buddy that had been in Staten before, and it's
Years ago.
nothing like what it is now. You know, he said it used to be like on vacation in there. You know, and now it's like you're not coming out if you go in that place.
How old was your son? Tell the people how old he was.
22,
Just had a birthday.
October.
Just- Just turned 22 years old, and he has a month at best when he gets transferred to this prison before he gets out of prison. And they sent him to this pretty serious prison where people are killing people, right?
Right.
What do you think needs to happen there? What do you think needs to be changed?
Everything.
All new wardens and COs, and they need to segregate the people more better than what they're doing. Murderers don't need to be with thieves. You know, murderers and child molesters need to be in their own place. Thieves and under need to be in their own facility.
I'm gonna be real. Y'all remember the other day when I showed y'all that video where they show all inmates about if you get sexually assaulted, they show you that Priya video. And I told y'all, your first line of defense is yourself. My advice to anybody that might be out here committing crimes, I'm telling you, it ain't no guns in prison. It ain't no guns. The only person, the guards are not there to protect you at all. If the guards was there to protect you, y'all, Donta, look, hold on. Donta would not have them stab wounds right there, being in them knife fights. If the guards was there to protect, no. My advice to anybody that end up in prison, get you a piece of steel. I don't care if you got to break it off on the back of your toilet, on your bunk bed, and wherever you have to get armed and dangerous, you bet. Listen, as soon as you get up in there, see who is who, what is what. Ask around low key like, yo, who's selling the you know what's? Get you a hold of a piece of steel. Because I'm telling you, the guards is not there to protect you at all. You are your first line of defense. I'm telling you. Hey, okay. Keep thinking it's a game.
You think a lot of these guys should be locked in cells instead of open dorms?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I think everything needs to be changed. I don't think there's anything that's really right going on in there.
And if
Here we
you're
go.
in C dorm, there shouldn't be no way possible that you make it to E dorm or any other dorm around there. You know.
Sure, let me ask you this. You go to the hospital, right? Are you able to take pictures of your son?
No, they search me.
I'm going to be real with y'all. For them, for 3 inmates, the hog tied their family member and bring them to a different dorm, there was a guard in on that. There's no way, because somebody have to buzz you out of that dorm for you to go to another dorm, and you got 3 cats that got a white cat hog tied and no guards. Come on, y'all. Donta might be stupid, but I don't got dumb across my forehead. Come on, man. Y'all know a guard or CO had something to do with that too. Let me know in the comment section, do y'all think the guards was in on it?
Every time I go in the room, they make sure I ain't got no keys, knives.
The 5 guards do.
Yeah.
Who was able to get the pictures? Someone was able to get the pictures, right?
I think Andrew got them, if I'm not mistaken. They had 5 guards there for somebody on life support.
When you
And
see
they all knew that, you know, he was 90% brain dead, and even had him handcuffed to the bed.
handcuffed to the bed, and he'll be out in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Let me, when I first talked to Nate about the case and everything, I think your son was still alive, right? And in my mind, I sat here and I thought about it, and I said, he's going to be all right. He's going to make it.
That's what
Like I wanted to believe that for some reason when I knew, when Nate had relayed the facts to me that wasn't the case. But I was sitting here like, no, he's only 22 years old. He's going to be all right. they got him handcuffed to the bed. He's going to be okay. Then I know Andrew goes down there and he visits down there with you guys, and and he gets in the hospital, and I'm like, no, he's going to be all right. And then Nate texts me and says, hey man, didn't work out. And I'm just shocked. As his father, your son's laying there, you do get to go in the room, right?
Yeah, they gave me 30 minutes.
Gave you 30 minutes with your son. What'd you say to him, man?
What was that?
You said, what'd you say to him?
What did you say to him?
That's pitiful. I mean, y'all, I don't see how y'all could sleep at night,
I want to know what you said to your son. Did you touch him? Did you hug him? Did you say, son, I love you?
Yeah, I did. I held his hand the whole time I was in there, and did tell him I love him.
On the real, y'all, because I've been through that, I'm going to tell y'all something. If we got, 100 people in the building, if we got 100 people in the building and you got a nephew or you got a son or something that's out there that's out here selling drugs, committing crimes, and ain't never been locked up for real, you need to go get them and have them watch this video. And I know some of them might say, well, it ain't going to be me. It ain't going to be me. Donta ain't never thought he was going to get poked up while I was up in there. We supposed to be in there rumbling on a one-on-one, and all I know, my shirt, my white tee starts turning red. And I started getting light in the arm because I didn't know I done got poked twice while I'm in there with my adrenaline pumping and my heart beating, my blood pumping, and I'm in there thumping on this dude. I didn't know the dude done poked me twice. It ain't never gonna happen to me though. All right. Hey, if you love the young males in your family, y'all better listen to this video. Listen to the hurt and pain. He lost his son. His son laying on a hospital bed, 90% brain damage. Can't move, can't talk, nothing. And he holding his son's hand. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, it's a whole nother world in there.
Man, bro, I can't even imagine what it's like. You know what I mean? You believe in Christ?
Yeah.
There's a God, man. And I'm praying that your son is with him. And he's got 2 small children, like we said, so you still look like a young man, but it's time to be a grandfather, man. Be the best grandfather you could be, and take care of them babies, man, and let them know that their father loved them. And it's sad that this is going on. This shouldn't be happening. I want to ask Nate a couple questions before we get ready to go, and we're also going to put up your GoFundMe. Ask people to donate. Anybody that's watching the show and wants to donate to our show tonight, please don't do that. Please donate to this GoFundMe to help raise money to make sure that we can get the experts, do the things that need to be done so that we can. This isn't, and I'm sorry to say this, but this isn't just about your son. For you, it may not even be that, but it's about other people's sons that are going into this system where, the governor has no control, where there is no accountability. It angers me where people, these people you're killing each other and destroying each other and not making their situation any better. You're not trying to get out of prison. You're not pushing for programs. You're not, when you're around killing people, then what they're going to do? They ought to lock you in a cell. You ought to be locked in a cell. Maybe you don't deserve a second chance especially when you're assaulting people. And, and I've seen the pictures of ATL. Pretty big dude. Your son?
I knew. I'm 35. Let's do the math. 1, make me 20. 16 years ago, y'all, I knew ATL. I knew ATL. He had dreads at the time when I knew him, y'all. He was a real freaky dude. He was a real aggressive dude with the ladies. I'm telling y'all, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised.
Not the biggest guy around. And there's young kids watching maybe right now with their father. And I want them to not make choices that lead to prison. I want them to say, damn, I don't want to be in a cell with ATL. I don't want to be in a unit with ATL. I don't want this guy grabbing me and, forcing me and to do things that, I'm not supposed to be doing that. That's not normal. I'm really sorry. You know what I mean? I am sorry. And I am a little bit shaken up a little bit by the kid.
I want y'all to look at the comment that's up here right now. because I just did an interview. Like I told y'all in January, I'm doing real life interviews with prior inmates that been through it. And this comment right here is one of the interviews that I actually got. I'm going to read it for the people that's not watching me and just listening to the audio. This person said the guards see and sometimes arrange this booty bandit activity. My dad was great while in prison. He was in there for a drug charge, and he said they let it happen. His dad or her dad ended up with AIDS. Yo, I got some stories. Just wait till January, y'all. It's coming. It's coming, y'all.
Because
Don't even worry about it.
it's horrible. It's disgusting. It's horrible.
I
Nate,
do want to add one thing, if you don't mind. When they took him off life support, and he was given 10 days, is what they told us. They actually transferred him back to Kilby to die by himself after day 3 in the middle of the night. The warden chose to.
they take him out of the hospital, send him back to a prison.
Without telling us until that night.
They didn't even call us. They called the sister of Daniel.
Yeah.
What do they take him back to the prison for? Why doesn't he stay in the hospital?
They wouldn't give us an answer.
Yeah. I haven't got no answers to anything except for it's under
Investigation.
investigation.
I'm going to be real with y'all. This ain't no racist coming out of my mouth. The reason why they not getting the answers that they want, because they ain't got this. Because they are what you consider poor whites. Oh, don't get it twisted. Because if there was a black family that this happened to too, because if they ain't got that money, they won't be getting no answers neither. This is why the system can play the military mind games, because they know that people ain't got that money to press that issue with them lawyers. They have to get a lawyer on pro bono that'll take the case. But who gonna take the case when they all in cahoots? I'm telling y'all, crime does not pay. It doesn't pay. Stay out of prison.
How about the warden? I mean, before I get back to Nate, any compassion from this guy?
No.
No, he's the one that chose to move Daniel back to die by himself.
Hopefully, he goes to the deepest depths of hell.
I kind of want him to sit in a room with ATL for a while.
Maybe they could tie him up. Who knows?
Yeah.
Not promoting violence on here, but you get angry about it. Nate,
Yeah.
Back to Nate for a second. Nate, what's the problem and how do they fix it, man?
Well, I don't know. That's hard to say, right? Because it's hard to say that the cells, it is a good thought that, hey, you should have a better, you should have a better sense of putting people in the hole, putting people in this shoe. But the issue is, at Limestone.
Thank you, Brian, for that. And no, I don't know how to do a head kick Adonis style.
Correctional facility, the biggest facility in the state of Alabama, they do have cells, and they've got issues. So there's usually about 8 officers for about 2,400 inmates, the biggest facility in the state of Alabama, and they have consistent stabbings, people breaking into other people's cells, getting buzzed in by COs, just by correctional officers, just without any checking or anything like that. There's it's hard to even say indifference, and it's hard to say incompetence, really, because of our knowledge of what the correctional officers are doing over there. They're building the most expensive prison in world history, but the rumor is that there's not going to be any air conditioning there. I really think that it all comes down to the state of Alabama criminalizes virtually everything, and they criminalize virtually everything with life imprisonment. So that's where I'd like to step in on this post-conviction relief that we like to do out there, and I think that's what's going to.
Y'all know what? We finna take a journey. Right, y'all? We about to take a journey somewhere.